What screams I'm very insecure? Constantly wedging humble bragging into conversations. My friend Jerry Seinfeld and I were just talking about this the other day. Automatically assuming negative intent. Egg. You friend didn't pick your call? Fuck her. She's trying to avoid me. I don't care about her anyway. Trying to dominate conversations, not to be confused with just being a charismatic person. This is a self-roast, but I think I degrade myself just to hear others deny it. Is that insecure? People who automatically assume that if you disagree with them, you must have a subjective, personal reason to do so, if possible even related to your own insecurities. Simply not true. When people have, and insist on constantly checking on their so via some tracking app on their phone, it's one thing to have it, and use it in case of emergency, but using it, while out with your friends, to make sure he's actually at work, is creepy and super insecure. I found that a lot of people on Twitter that feel the need to post about how great of a person they are, and they have nothing but good intentions are usually the most toxic people I've seen. As an insecure person, I find it hard to look people in the eyes. I also find it hard to tell any stories about myself, because I'm afraid people will think I'm lying, or that I won't be part of the group, because of personal differences. I always think everyone is better than me. I can see all the good in everybody, but I know that they see all the bad in me. Insecure people stand in the corner and don't join the group. I deal with insecure moms a lot, either at the playground or mommy groups. They're insecure about what milestones their child is hitting and how they are doing as a mother. One of the biggest tells is when they brag about something that's clearly a lie, or even a partial truth. My 3-year-old is reading at a first grade level. Okay, but he's eating grass right now and just pooped himself. You see it a lot on social media now. My 20-month-old is potty trained. Having several accidents a day and needing a diaper whenever she sleeps is not potty trained. Yeah, moms are pretty judgy and many mommy groups are toxic, but most of can tell when you're lying and it screams insecure. I have a niece and nephew that are a month apart, and Jesus Christ, the competition is real. Like, how can you be mad that your nephew has more teeth than your kid? Who fucking cares? When you question yourself, do they actually like me, or are they pretending to? Or when you think you're gonna bother other people if you talk to them. I'm in this post and I don't like it. People who always have to one-up you in everything. If you tell a story, they have a better one. If you buy something expensive, they have to be something even more expensive. Some people's whole life is trying to win some non-existent competition. Oh, you went to Tenerife. Well, I went to Tenerife. You got cholera. Well, I got Yersinia pestis. I beat you both. I died. Clicking on this post to see if any of the top comments are things you do. It's nice to confirm I'm not a total piece of shit. If I'm, how can I improve as a person? Just not shutting up about yourself. Constantly lifting yourself up and comparing yourself to others while pushing them down. Also, constantly putting yourself down and comparing yourself to others. I didn't ask to be called out this loudly. Or those people who post on Facebook those quotes that are like, backquote, don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason. Or they tag themselves into any and every place, including the doc/hospital/somewhere personal. Then when someone asks if they're okay, they reply with, backquote, don't ask hunzucks. So basically, people who live their lives through very active social medias, I suppose I'm trying to say. I used to be very insecure, so I'll go from my own experience. Lying about something to seem cool. It's very obviously a signal of insecurity, because they don't like who they are now. Women that guard their men like a soldier. I was leaving an abusive relationship. My friend offered me a place to stay. The hitch was, if she wasn't there and just her husband was, I had to leave. I got a hotel room. Not dealing with that. That is just do. People whose self-esteem is so low that they can't stand the sight of people with high self-esteem. So they will try to break down anyone they perceive as more successful than them. When a group of this type of people comes together, a major crab bucket mentality arises, and they will target people perceived as highly competent or successful for bullying, gossip, false rumors, and other things that should have been wiped out after elementary school. Oof, you just described one of my coworkers. So glad she transferred to another department. They pretty much described Reddit. Bragging about things not even in your control, like your parents' wealth. Man, I brag about my depression all the time. People who feel the need to judge everyone in a negative light and who only want to see the worst in others so they can feel better about themselves. It just shows how unhappy they truly are. Ironically, people like this also feel like they are judged unfairly and constantly by the world. Oftentimes, people don't know the difference between telling it like it is and just being flat out mean. People who tell it like it is only give their opinion when it is warranted because they would want someone to tell them the truth instead of dancing around it. However, some can cross this line and just be straight up rude while using this same reasoning. Those who tell it like it is are secure. Those who are unnecessarily mean are insecure. Not exactly a direct answer to your question, but I've always thought this and wanted to share. Interestingly enough, many people who tell it like it is don't like it when others do the same to them. This is how you know someone is just rude vs someone who genuinely tells you the truth because they would want the same. One-upping people constantly in conversations. Or bragging about how much better you can do something than others can, which is a much better comment than yours was. Joint Facebook profiles. Don't you bring my grandpa and grandma into this. People over 65 get a pass. Being unnecessarily mean-spirited to people. Had a guy threatening to kick the shit out of me if I told anyone he was dyslexic. Guy spelled things out for you. Fair play. Scene. Gets a notification on phone. XGF. Who's chatting to you now? Me. It's a game notification. Me. Goes to shower. Me. Comes back to find GF going through every message. ML and WhatsApp. Does that scream I'm insecure? Does that scream I'm insecure? Among other things. Posting what you're up to every day on social media. Or the vague ugh, I'm so upset right now status where they're praying that someone asks what's wrong. If you want to say what's bothering you, do it. Don't clickbait your own status. BF, alright and going to work babe. GF, you better not be fucking with bitches at work. That's like screaming I'm the one cheating. Incapable of self-reflection. Because they are vampires. When you're reading an AskReddit thread, to make sure you're not making it too obvious. Just calling me out. Huh. The more you talk about how good you are in bed, and how many women you fuck, the less I believe you. I'm terrible in bed, and have fucked a grand total of 0 women. Wow, you must be a sex god. He hasn't heard any complaints yet. Using your internal fear as a reason not to do something. Hate your job. You don't apply for any others because you're scared of being rejected, or that you don't deserve a better job. In a terrible relationship, you stay because you're scared of being alone. That kind of insecurity is the worst to know because it affects nearly everyone. No, this thread was for griping about the people I dislike, not uniting us through our shared universal fallibility.